I've been popping beans cause I don't know nobody. And I think that and it gets them and it. Yo, what's good too, man? It's your boy Top back here with another reaction video, man. It's 26 today. We got Alice in the Borderland season 2 ending explained. I just got done watching this yesterday or the day before, and the last episode was so like trippy, bro. I was like, what the freak is going on? I was like, was this in his head the whole time? I don't know what's going on, man. So we got Alice in the Borderland season 2 ending explained. You know what I'm saying? I looked this up. This one has the most views. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna see what he has to say, but we still gonna check out heavy spoilers though. But man, this season was crazy, bro. Like I thought they all was gonna, man. I thought they was gonna all die in that one episode when the King of Spades was just beating their ass. Just damn, bro, that shit was, man, I was emotional, man. Man, let's get into it.
We finally got to find out why Arisu and all of the other main characters were being forced to compete in games based on cards in order to get back to the real world. Or at least it seemed as though we did until the dreaded Joker card was remaining on the table in the hospital. With the group going through multiple games, surviving immense battles and finding out why they were stuck there, I thought I'd recap, break down and explain all that there was to take away from this season of the show. So let's get into it. Here is Alice in Borderland Season 2 Ending Explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. As we approached the final episode of the season, we'd seen the group split up at the start, work their way through multiple games such as a few different versions of tag, dodgeball, a probability game of guessing and outsmarting your opponent, and also one where they needed to find out who was lying. Obviously, all of the games had deadly consequences, but it got down to a point where there were only 2 face cards left, and one of those was the King of Spades, who was essentially running a free-for-all where you had to defeat him in open play. We did see him get defeated during the climax, but we saw that most of the main characters took severe damage in trying to defeat him. Quina, Usagi, Anne, Akana, and Aguni all got badly hurt.
Man, I thought Aguni was dead, but that nigga never died, cuz I swear to God. I thought he shot him in his shit, like I thought he shot him in his brain. Like, bruh, I'm like, damn, man, my nigga gone. He come out of nowhere, he beating his ass. I'm like, what the fuck, cuz? What the fuck, bruh? This nigga don't die. And then when I was like, the whole time when they was like fighting and shit, I'm like, damn, they ain't finna check on the girls. They ain't gonna check on the girls. They, you know what I'm saying? And that one girl, Soldier, the one, I forgot her name, the one with the prosthetic leg or the little leg. She a soldier, boy. She was straight crawling for her love, bro. Like, it's real love right there, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Anne actually succumbing to the injuries. However, due to the explosive plan, we saw that it damaged the King of Spades enough, and Aguni—
Yes, I do got on a beanie with a do-rag, man. Yes, we out. Yes, I do.
then went on to take him out. This then left the final game, and it was a version of croquet with the Queen of Hearts. All Arisu had to do was complete the game to win. There was no point scoring, just the pure completion of the 3 sets, no forfeiting and no quitting. It was here where we saw the first 2 sets get played, but then they stopped for tea when Mira, who was the queen, went on to trick him on multiple occasions in giving him false answers that he was looking for. These were centered around the reason as to why they were there, what happened after the fireworks, and how they could return home. He was put to the test to forfeit the game, which would mean that he would die, but due to Usagi telling him how much he meant to her and that he gave her meaning to continue on to fight, we saw him not give in, and thus ultimately completed all of the face cards. We saw him and the others being met with a decision on if they wanted permanent residency in the country that they were in, which was filled with violence, but we saw all of the main characters, other than the survivors of the solitary confinement game, choose to decline it. This was then when we found out what had actually happened, and the reason as to why they were there. The fireworks that occurred in Tokyo weren't actually fireworks. They were a cluster of meteorites that hit the city and caused mass devastation. Borderland, the place where all of the main characters were, was a place between death and life where they were for a brief moment. We heard that Arisu's heart stopped beating for 1 whole minute, so he was technically dead. Him choosing to decline residency in Borderland was him coming back to life in reality. All of what we saw with the games occurring happened within the space of Arisu being knocked out and then waking up in the hospital bed. His friends Karubi and Chota were briefly there, hence why we saw them in Season 1, but they succumbed to their injuries, which is why they died within a game. It would also make sense as to why all of the other characters in Episode 7 that were harmed by the King of Spades managed to survive their injuries, despite the fact that they were so extreme, because they managed to survive in real life. The definition of Borderland is described as an area of overlap between two things, so for the show's purpose it was life and death. Even though most of these people met inside of Borderland, they'd never met in real life. Their paths only overlapped briefly in real life in the specific moment that the meteorites hit, and at that point they were all strangers on different paths.
And I was like, when I saw that, I was like, what? Like, did they show that in the first episode when that happened? Like, did we see that, or did I just forget? You know what I'm saying? I was like, what? All of them was around him? What?
With Arisu noticing Usagi in the hospital at the end of the episode, she didn't properly recognize him, and it was actually quite sad to witness. This was due to the fact that within Borderland, their company was the sole reason as to why they both survived, because of the care that they held for each other. With them both walking off at the end, it certainly alluded to the idea that they were going to form a connection in the real world, which I hope is the case. In the hospital at the end, we saw the young boy that Usagi saved, the woman who was caring for him, Queen Na with her mother, who she said she was going to get back for, and we also had Anne being brought back from the verge of death. Even though she died within Borderland, with Queen Na holding on to her when she declined her residency, I believe that's what allowed her to return. We also had Akane in a wheelchair with her leg amputated due to the damage from the meteorite, Aguni in critical care along with Chishiya and Niragi also in the hospital bed next to each other. No.
Dang, gang. I understand you need your money though, man. I understand. It's a good video, man. You ain't have to do me like that though.
Nobody recognized each other, but they were all grateful to be alive. It seemed as though Arisu was the main person that was able to remember all that occurred, and others just had faint memories, as we saw Usagi did vaguely recognize him. With regards to the Joker card, it certainly made out that there was going to be a Season 3 of the show, with the number cards being done, the face cards being done in Season 2.
It's 2 Joker cards, right? So if it's 2 Joker cards, and they already said they wanted to go back to the crib, how the fuck that shit finna work? Another meteor finna come?
There are 2 Joker cards in a traditional deck of cards,
right.
So it could mean that all isn't as it seems, and this could just be another layer within the world of Borderland. But we'll have to wait for Season 3 to see if that's the case. I think this is a good ending to the show if it is the case, but I'd definitely be open to watching more. I thought Season 2 of the show was pretty good. The creativity and the creation of the games that they play, along with the tension and visual spectacle that we get when watching them, leaves me hanging off the edge of my seat for the duration. Whilst there are a lot of main characters to follow in the show, all of the stories are individually entertaining. However, you do sense the hierarchy of importance. Anne and Queen Na were absent for most of the season and only really fell into importance in the penultimate episode. The same applied with Niragi. It was setting itself up nicely early on for him to be a villain that caused more trouble than what he did. Chishiya was definitely one of my favourite characters.
Facts! Facts! Bruh, when he got shot, I was like, no! Not my mans! No! What are you doing? And I thought he was gonna die in that guessing game too, but I'm like, bro, what is he doing? But I forgot he's smart, bro. Like, he like the ultimate troll, bro. Like,
intelligence, calm-headedness, and coolness that this character embodied was always so relaxing to watch. He mastered every game that he took his hand to, and it really allowed you to feel immersed within it, due to the calm nature that he embodied. The episode lengths are something that I do feel need addressing. There were several episodes over an hour, and the finale was almost an hour and a half, which I do think is a lot. Despite only being 8 episodes in length, it probably has the runtime of a traditional 12-episode show. I'm not complaining, as I did really enjoy the show, but sometimes it did just feel like it went on for a little while. I wish we got some more screen time with some more games in this season, as I feel we only really...
Nah, for real, I was like wondering why, like, I was wondering why they was like they did that rope game and the dodgeball game like hella quick. Like they showed glimpses of it. I want to see that like more.
Had 3 or 4 full-length games in this season. My favourite was definitely Osmosis or Solitary Confinement. The trickery within both of them at the end was great to witness. I thought the ending of the show was a good way for the entirety of Alice in Borderland to wrap up, if that is the case. We now know what happened, why it happened, how they ended up in Borderland, and now we've seen them return home. I don't feel like there needs to be another season. Despite the fact I do really enjoy it, if it were to wrap up there, I think it would be appropriate. I also like the idea of the Joker card being a joke on us. The fact it made out like there was more to offer, but in fact, they've pulled the Joker card and it's just a trick. That would be my preference anyway. Whilst that would be the ending in my ideal world, I don't think that's going to be the case due to it being a popular show. So I imagine we'll see some fresh ideas in the 3rd season of the show, if and when it does return. So, there you have it, Alice in Borderland Season 2, Ending Explained. If you want to see more videos such as Endings Explained, theories and predictions, and character breakdowns, then click on the I button. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you'd like to give me a show or movie that you'd like me to review, then head over to my Twitter, @BrainPilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video.
Alright, buddy. What are you having for what are you having for Alice in the Borderland Season 2 Explained, man? I was like, bro, when he got put in that like trance or whatever, bro, I was like, bro, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, bro, was this shit fake the whole time? Did he make all this up in his head? I'm like, bro, ain't no way, bro. That shit was trippy, bro. But this was, bro, Season 2 was good as shit, bro. Like, this shit was good as fuck. Y'all think it should be a Season 3? Y'all let me know. Nah, for real. Oh God, that shit was hella trippy, bro. I swear to God. A whole roller coaster. Man. Facts. Fucking with the comments. Nah, for real. Man. I'm finna go back and rewatch it this season again. Nah, for real. Goonie's different, bro. Stop playing with him, man. He's certified, bro. Certified, bro.